Follow up on it for you, Kristen, but I'm not aware of their plans to participate in the events tonight.
We're back. We're back. This is the next day's press conference. Listen to this.
At the border, some members of the Democratic Party are displeased with the way the administration is handling children who are being held at the border. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeted this, quote, "This is not okay, never has been okay, never will be okay, no matter the administration or party." Is this a failure on the part of this administration?
Well, first, I can't speak to what this is that is being referred to.
These detention facilities.
Well, that's not what's happening. And, you know, we will be doing some briefing.
Okay, so she was asked this question yesterday, and she says she can't speak to this 3 sentences in a tweet. She can't speak to it, even though she's had a whole day to be bombarded by this AOC tweet, because you know she was, but she's going to act like she wasn't. It's like that WHO doctor who acted like he didn't hear the question. And then she's like, this is an ambiguous tweet. I can't speak to what this is. So the reporter says, that's pretty simple. This is the facilities. Oh, whatever. Okay.
Of course, with members of Congress, but what is happening now is there are children fleeing prosecution, fleeing threats in their own countries, traveling on their own, unaccompanied, to the border. And
on their own, unaccompanied, to the border. Yet, they're not going to do what Trump did and rip them from their families. Rip them from the arms of their moms and their dads, is what she said yesterday. Today, and she said it yesterday too, in the same breath, she's saying that they're by themselves. Not the same. Somebody call her out on this. It's such bull. Like, you're saying that Trump ripped them from the arms of their families, yet for some reason they're unaccompanied and alone in your case. You're a liar. Straight up, you're a liar.
Our focus is on approaching this from the view of humanity and with safety in mind.
Okay.
And so the steps that we have taken is they are, of course.
What'd you say? Hold on. Wait. What?
Process is on approaching this from the view of fleeing prosecution,
professional
fleeing
speaker,
threats in their own
hundreds
countries,
of thousands of dollars,
traveling on their own, unaccompanied, to the border. And our focus is on approaching this from the view of humanity and with safety in mind. And so the steps that we have taken is they are.
The steps that we have taken is the steps. Plural. The steps that we have taken is, again, subject verb agreement. Jen, you're a professional speaker and you can't even speak with proper grammar. And I'm a UGA grad and I can pick that up.
Of course, reunite, because
she says it again, and it's got to.
Ocasio-Cortez then, so she sees these images and it's not okay from her perspective.
Well, look, we will work, of course, with Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez on a range of issues, and we look forward to doing that. What I'm conveying from here is what the actual circumstance is on the ground and the tough choice that we have had to make. There are only a couple of options here. So either.
There are only a couple of options here. Their administration is so special, they only had a couple of options. Whereas the Trump administration had a plethora of options. They could have done a billion different things, but what they did was wrong and it was inhumane. But Dios mío, we only have 2 options. Aren't you special? You're so special. Narrative.
Based on our reporting, former President Trump is going to be talking about President Biden's immigration policies. He will point to the uptick in migrants coming to the U.S. How is the administration planning to respond?
Well, we're not looking to former President Trump or any of his advisors as a model for how we're approaching immigration. In fact,
but we are going to use all of his facilities that he used, and we are going to follow the exact same protocol, exactly the same thing he did, we're going to do, but instead we're going to demonize him and make us look like angels.
We're in the circumstance we're in because not only was their approach inhumane, it was ineffective. And so
we are in the circumstance we're in, not because Biden said 100 days, y'all come on, open borders, give me your week, give me your whatever the Statue of Liberty says. There are caravans of Hispanic people coming up to the borders because of what Biden said, not because of what Trump did, but because of what Biden said. And instead of owning that, this woman is saying it's because of Trump, because nothing good happens because of Trump. Everything bad that happens is because of Trump. The only thing good that happens is because of Biden. Biden is only good, has never done anything wrong, will never admit to doing anything wrong. That's the thing. They'll never admit to doing anything wrong, ever. So frustrating.
We want to forge our own path forward. We'll see what he says, but our focus is certainly not what President Trump is saying at CPAC. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jen. The head of the group, the president, is...
So what you couldn't see is she's playing with her hair, and that goes back to signs of deception. She's on the hot seat. She's playing with her hair. She's getting, oh my God, my hair's all in my face. Oh my Lord, help me. Let me get this. We're not gonna do what Trump did. We're gonna get more people here than we can handle. We're gonna blame Trump for it, my hair, and then we're gonna forge forward on our own path. Kids in cages? No, not us. Kids in boxes? Maybe. But I'm telling you, those boxes are nice. I mean, compared to what they were experiencing, that is the Ritz-Carlton. Okay, here comes our favorite Fox reporter asking a tough question, a real tough question. Let's see if she actually responds to the question. Let's see if she answers the question, because she definitely responds. See if she answers the question, and let's see how just insulting she can be.
Thank you, Jen. The head of the group the president is going to meet with today, the National Governors Association, Andrew Cuomo, is being accused of sexual harassment by a former staffer named Lindsey Boylan.
More than one.
While he was governor, he gave her an unwanted kiss on the lips. He asked her to play strip poker. Is the White House worried about this becoming a distraction from an important meeting about COVID response?
No. Yes. Does she say either of those? She says that.
Well, let me first say that the president has been consistent in his position. When a person comes forward, they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Their voice should be heard, not silenced, and any allegation should be reviewed. Governor Cuomo is also the governor of one of the largest states in the country.
One of the largest states in the country. Therefore, he gets a pass because he's a governor. He's a very important man. Doesn't matter what he's accused of, very important man.
That has been one of the hardest hit, with millions of people still suffering from an ongoing pandemic and an economic crisis. And our focus is to continue working with governors from across the country, from a range of states, on how we're helping people in their states. He also is still head of the National Governors Association, and he's at the event today.
And
so, in other words, I'm not going to answer your question. We're going to instead say that people who raise these concerns need to be listened to. But if you raise this concern against the most powerful governor in her mind, the most powerful governor in the United States with the largest state population in her mind, who has been hit the hardest by COVID, so now he's a victim. He's a victim, not her. Back off. Plus, he's the chairman, president, head of this Governors Association, so he's so important that these allegations don't matter. They shouldn't matter. He's too important. He could do whatever he wants.
To him being in charge of the governors and in charge of such a big state, will the president talk to him about these accusations from Democrats in the New York legislature?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Cuomo misled the public about deaths in nursing homes.
I'm not going to answer that question. Look.
Well, this is a meeting and a conversation with a range of governors about how we can all work together to address the pandemic.
You are not going to answer it.
American people, and that's what I expect the focus.
You're not going to answer the question, Jen, are you?
Democrats in New York who want congressional hearings.
So frustrating.
About these deaths in nursing homes. There was a Cuomo aide who told lawmakers in
You're not going to answer it.
that the Cuomo administration withheld the number of residents who died in hospitals from the public due to the fear that...
Can she be charged with theft for accepting her paycheck because she's not answering questions that she's supposed to answer? She's being paid to answer questions. Can she be charged for theft because she's not answering these questions? It's pretty clear she's not answering these questions. Got to get this last question in here.
It's really up to Congress to determine.
I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer.
Review or
I'm not going to
have
answer.
Hearings on those reports.
I'm not going to answer.
I know you were asked about this weekend, but I'll try again. Does President Biden still think Andrew Cuomo is the gold standard for COVID leadership and that he's doing a hell of a job, which he has said?
She won't answer.
Him.
Well, first of all, I think
I'll bet you my stimulus check, which is really zero, but I'll bet you she does not answer this question, yes or no. She does not give an affirmation or a negation of what he said, of what the question is. Does he think he's still the gold standard and he's doing a hell of a job? 2 questions. Yes, no, yes, no. That's all we need from you, Jen. That's all you got to say. Stop with your logoria. Duck, go that word logoria, because that's what she's got. Bad case of logoria.
to be fair, let's put all of the comments in context, which sometimes is missing from these conversations we have in here or during interviews at the time.
But it only with Peter, only with Fox is that the case. She never accuses any of the other CBS, NBC, CDNC, MSNBC. She doesn't ask any of those people, you know, to let's put it in context because you're being misleading. Ever. It's only Peter she does that with.
Which was, I believe, April of last year, the president spoke out and said positive things about a range of governors, Democrats and Republicans, who were stepping in when there was a vacuum of leadership at the federal level, when they were getting no information, when they were getting no help and no guidance
Not
from
true.
the former Trump administration.
That's not true. You're lying. You're
made
lying.
Positive comments about Governor Cuomo and his role in New York at the time, as he did about a range of governors.
Jen, you're a liar.
And one more on climate change. There's been some reports about...
She's just a liar. She's just a liar. I can't stand it. She's a liar. She doesn't do her job. She does her job protecting Biden. She needs to work for the Secret Service because that's all she does is protect Biden. But as far as disseminate information and answer questions and give truthful responses and not evade, she doesn't do any of that. She's a waste of our taxpayers' money. She needs to be charged with theft. We'll keep doing this. Hold on a minute. I can't believe this just happened.
Cameras in there also to
see the care that the children.
So the question is, would the president be in favor of an omnibudsman position to kind of oversee what's going on in the retention facilities, whatever they're called? And so, as you'll recall earlier in the video, she was asked that question about, will the reporters be allowed to go check it out? And she said, whoa, no, back up. No, wrong old reindeer breath. You can't go in there for privacy reasons, for security reasons, for safety reasons. No, we have to vet that whole thing out and come up. We'll have to circle back and come up with a reason why you can't do that. Now check out today what she say.
Children are receiving a report back to Congress. Would the administration support such a role within Health and Human Services?
I have actually not spoken with the president about that proposal by Congresswoman Jayapal. We have, I should note, I think someone asked this the other day. We have had cameras. The HHS has had cameras in there also to make sure.
How, wait a minute. You can't have cameras in there because there's security and there's safety and there's privacy issues. How? That's you. That's no. You can't do that. You double talking. No. Please, y'all. You can't have cameras. Reporters aren't allowed in there. Why would you allow cameras? The reporters might have cameras.
People in the public, the media, are able to see the conditions in these facilities, and we'd certainly be open to supporting that in the future. But
sorry, I got a funny one for you here. So this reporter's asking about the children in detention camps being given psychotropic drugs, lithium and whatnot, because maybe they've been through trauma and everything, and that how the potential for abuse, this happened in the past, and potential abuse. And what do you think about that, Jen? Check this out.
Lithium and so on. What's being done? Obviously, these children need psychiatric care in some cases. They're traumatized. They've had a difficult time. What can the administration do to assure that these while the children would be getting the care they need, there would be no such abuses?
Well, I would say first, we are not using the past management as our guide. And
the funny thing about this is it was the Obama administration that did this, not the Trump administration. Smack her in the face with that. Somebody tell her, hey, that was Obama who did it. And you are using the Obama administration pretty much for everything, for your cabinet, for everything. Your whole agenda is based on Obama. So you are using the past administration. Liar, liar.
On immigration, why does the White House think there is this surge of unaccompanied children right now? Your critics are saying it's because you're not sending anybody back, any of these unaccompanied children back.
It's not my fault.
Do you share that?
No, it's not my
well,
fault.
I think there's a couple reasons.
So let me restate the question for those of you at home who couldn't catch it, all right? Because she couldn't catch it, so maybe some of y'all can't catch it. Question is, why is there a surge of children coming to the borders to get in the United States? Now, inherent in the word surge means above the norm, above average. I mean, if it's the average number of people coming, then it's not a surge. Can we agree on that? I hope we can agree on that, because if we can't agree on that, then you need to speak another language, because that's what surge means. It means above average. Why is there this above average number of people coming? Let's see what she has to say.
It's one, there's conditions that are in these countries that...
I'll back up. Let me...
Back, any of these unaccompanied children back. Do you share that?
Well, I think there's a couple reasons. One, there's conditions that are in these countries that we have not done enough to help improve. And that's why there's funding in the president's immigration bill, and why one of the reasons we're eager to have it passed.
Okay.
We don't...
Okay, so you can't answer the question, Jen. You just can't do it. Because what he said was, why is there a surge? And your answer was, because of the conditions in the country. Well, the conditions in the countries have not changed in the past 5 years. They haven't changed. So that wouldn't account for the surge, would it, Jen? No, it wouldn't. So you're not answering the question. There's a couple of reasons. There's a couple of reasons. One is the conditions in the countries are just horrible. And that's why there's a surge, Jen, because the conditions in the countries have always been horrible. That's why we're going to throw more money at it. We're going to throw more money at the people who aren't citizens, and the people in the United States are just going to have to suffer and wait for their stimulus check because, you know, we closed down the country, and that's, you know,
feel that sending unaccompanied minors, kids...
There she is. There she is again, unaccompanied minors, yet for some reason when it was Trump, they were ripping the minors out of the hands of the parents. She just... it's disgusting.
A dangerous journey is the right step to take, and that's not something that we're going to do as an administration, and it won't be our policy. But we always need to keep communicating more effectively about how this is a dangerous time to travel. This is a dangerous time for families to come, for children to come, and we'll continue to work to do that more.
That's the closest you're going to get to them admitting Biden saying the borders are going to be open for the first 100 days caused this surge. That's the closest you're going to get to admitting that. Because that's what's caused the surge, was Biden. I mean, you can interview, you see the interviews on TV, the people who are going up in these groups, President Biden. That's a terrible Spanish accent. President Biden, he said, forget it, I'm not going to do the accent. President Biden said, we have 100 days to get here. That's what he's saying. You can duck go that interview. It's President Biden's fault. She's not going to admit it. That's the closest she's going to come to admitting it. She is so adversarial towards Peter, the Fox guy. So listen to this question. She is the White House press secretary, right? She is the liaison between the president and the American people. The president and the American people. The White House. Maybe the vice president, I don't know. But definitely the president. Got nothing to do with Congress and the senators. She is the liaison for those people, right? Check this out.
And when the president had half a dozen Republican lawmakers in the Oval Office yesterday, they came out, they shared, they thought it was a good meeting, but they said the COVID-19 rescue package never came up. Why not?
Well, did they raise the COVID-19 rescue package?
I don't, the president's...
You are such a witch. What do you mean? Why don't you answer the question? Your hatred towards Fox is starting to just beam through your gills. Did they raise it? You are not the spokesman for them. He is not the spokesman for them. You are the spokesman for the president. So answer the freaking question why the president didn't bring it up. Stop trying to play some kind of war, some semantical war about responsibility to bring it up. You're responsible to speak for the president. Why didn't the president bring it up? He's not asking why it didn't come up between any of them. He's asking you why it didn't come up from the president's mouth. Probably because he was taking a nap.